Hello world, Ilya Friedrichsen here, your friend and computer science professor with another short screencast from javascript.info, the modern JavaScript tutorial. We are working in section 2.15, function expressions and arrows, and there's one aspect of this lesson that's so important to your JavaScript understanding that I wanted to handle it in a separate screencast, and that is the issue of callback functions. If you understand callback functions, you really understand a core tenet of JavaScript. So I've used his example and copied it into my Visual Studio code. I'm going to go through these statements a little bit slower and a little bit more thoroughly to make sure that this is a solid concept. First of all, let's just back up and talk about JavaScript for a second. It's got some unique aspects. First and foremost, it has very tight integration with HTML and CSS. The API, the application programming interface, is there and available for you to use so that your JavaScript can change the HTML, can change the content, and can modify the styles. That's all set up for you in the JavaScript environment already. You've also learned that it's loosely typed, and it has automatic type conversion behind the scenes to make sense of expressions. So we don't need to declare our variables as an int or a boolean or a char or a string. We simply declare our variables and use them and be aware of both the benefits and the headaches of automatic type conversion behind the scenes. You've recently learned that there's 3 different ways to declare a function declaration, a function expression, and also arrow functions. Those 3 ways really need to be part of your system because you'll see code written with all 3 different types of syntax. And in this lesson, he talks about callback functions. And the reason we can use a function as a callback function because a function is a value. It's actually an object, but an object is a value as well. But let's go through the example code and make sure we understand this issue of callback functions. In this case, he's got 1, 2, 3 functions. He's used the function declaration syntax to create these functions. The first function is called ask. It's got 3 different parameters, a question he's passing in, a yes parameter he's passing in, and a no parameter that he's passing in. Now these parameter names can be anything, and they're used in the definition of the function only. They are variables that are used to describe what the function is going to do when it runs. Then he's used shortcut syntax to say we're going to use the confirm method on the question. If the user clicks yes, which is true, I'm going to say is equal to true to add a little bit more clarity to that expression. If the user clicks OK on the confirm dialog box, then this is going to evaluate true, and we want to run this yes function. And I'm going to put that in curly braces to clarify that this is what we want to run if that is true. And I'm also going to put the else portion in curly braces to clarify that that's what we want to run if this test is false. So he has shortened up his curly braces. They're not necessary on these one-liners, but I like to use them in the beginning because I think they really clarify exactly what's in the true part and what's in the false part. Here's the real interesting thing in this example. Note that on line 9, if we click OK to the confirmation dialog box, if that question is answered with an OK, with a true, then we're going to take whatever we've passed in as the yes parameter and run it. If that's false, we're going to take in whatever has been passed in as the no parameter and run it. So because we're running the yes parameter and running the no parameter with these parentheses, we can see right there that the yes parameter and the no parameter need to be functions because that's the only thing you can run. So let's go on down and see his other 2 functions and how he's passed those in as the yes and no parameters. The function show OK, real straightforward. We're going to do a window alert on you agreed, and I'm going to put you clicked OK just to change it up a smidgen. On show cancel, we're going to window alert you clicked cancel, and that's false just to change it up a little bit. Now, nothing runs in this example until we get down to line 23. On line 23, we're running the ask function and sending in 3 arguments for these parameters. The question is going to be a string. Do you agree? The yes parameter gets past the show OK variable. And the show OK variable is really this function, but we're not running it yet. We're just passing it. The show cancel argument is this function. And again, we're not running it yet because we don't see the parentheses here, but we're passing it in. Show OK, we're passing in for yes, and show cancel, we're passing in for no, and we're not running those functions until we check this test to see whether it's true or false. Let's run this code and see how this works. Save, refresh. Here's our prompt from the string that we've sent in as the question. We're getting the confirm method to give us this dialog box with an OK, which is going to be true, and a cancel, which is going to be false. I'm going to click OK, which is going to send this statement true, and it's going to run the yes argument. And what's the yes argument? Well, we passed in the show OK function, and we're window alerting you clicked OK. I'll confirm that, run it again. Do you agree? This time I'm going to click the cancel button. When I click the cancel button, this is going to evaluate false, and we're going to run down here to line 11 and run whatever we passed in as the no argument. And what did we pass in as the no argument? The show cancel function. You clicked cancel or false. Functions are values that can be passed to their functions, and when they work in that manner, they're called callback functions, an incredibly important and distinguishing aspect of JavaScript. Thank you.